We are back, Season 4 of the Craft Beer Connoisseurs podcast. I'm Tyler, and along with me are two other hosts and a producer. For those of you who are new to the podcast, we like to showcase breweries, their beers, and conclude every episode with a thematic-ish conversation. If you're a casual listener or a seasoned vet, you know what to expect. Producers continue to change throughout episodes, but the same old connoisseurs will continue to provide top-tier content. Please feel free to listen to all of our previous episodes and producer specials to get an insight into all the breweries and beers we've mostly enjoyed. And whether you're new or returning, we are pleased to be your favorite craft beer podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Craft Beer Cons, send a friend request on Untapped, or subscribe on YouTube at Craft Beer Connoisseurs. Also drop a comment, like, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Now for today's episode. Welcome to the Craft Beer Connoisseurs. I'm Tyler.
I'm Brett, and along with us today is the first producer that we've ever brought back.
Repeat.
Yes. I don't know
But it's not Pete.
Yeah, I don't know if none of them were available or just he did so good at his job that we had to bring him back.
Well, there's a reason why.
Yes, there is. So producer Chad is back.
I'll clap for Chad.
Yeah. This is the first time he's actually sitting with us because the last time he was with us, he was this, there, and everywhere.
He was all over the place.
So it's good that we can see him sitting down today. Yes, he did.
For sure.
We closed all those rings.
Yeah. So not only do we have Chad, but we actually are going to be doing a brewery today.
Yes, we are.
So in today's episode, we're going to be reviewing Forked River Brewing Company out of London, Ontario.
Yes, I think we both know this one quite well.
Quite well.
Yes. So we're going to be having two of their beers. The first one is Riptide.
There you go.
Which is an American pale ale. And the second being Flashback, which is a wheat beer with rhubarb.
Okay. So then we're going to round out the episode. We're actually going to be spending a little bit of time talking about our favorite Chad moments. All right. Forked River is located at 45 Pacific Court, Unit 4 in London, Ontario, just off of Clark Road, smack dab in the middle between Oxford and Dundas.
Yep. If you look at Google Maps, it's kind of halfway between Oxford, Dundas, off of Clark Road.
It's a little bippity-boppity.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's a bus stop right on Clark Road and Pacific Court that you can just get off of.
Yeah. Now, this location was actually opened back in the spring of 2013.
Yes.
So
it's been around a while.
Yeah, 10 years plus. And they expanded since, including a larger event space. And we'll kind of get into that a little bit more. They have more tap lines, and then they have kind of a better ability to bring in more live music because of this expansion. And they also have some nice food. Mm-hmm. You like food?
I do enjoy food, yes.
And they've also brought in Kyle's fried chicken, etc., into the facility. So
yeah,
that's food.
Yeah, it's fried chicken almost.
I like fried chicken.
I also do like fried chicken. I did not have it when I was there, but I've heard good things about it so far.
Oh, Kyle's fried chicken?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Shameless plug for
right,
Kyle's
exactly. There you go.
fried
Yes.
chicken. Kyle's fried chicken.
So Forked River is owned by two biologists and an engineer. Right?
What a combination.
Right, exactly. So Dave Reed, Andrew Peters, and Steve Nazarin. So they kind of connected through a regional homebrewing club. Who could have thought? Three guys homebrewing, decided to make it happen. So in 2012, some of their companies were kind of completing restructuring, but they were looking for ways to keep their young families in London.
Okay.
So hence, obviously they went through the legalities and all that fun stuff. But Forked River was born into what it is today.
Right. We'll talk about that for sure.
Exactly.
Forked River's beer is dedicated to making and delivering consistent, flavorful brews, which hopefully we'll be experiencing.
I would like to hope so.
I think we've had a couple from Forked River.
I believe we have, yes.
And they use all natural quality ingredients, which we see from a lot of different breweries. So it's good to see the natural.
Yes.
quality.
So inside the tap room, their real wood picnic table seating is accentuated by the oak barrels stored at the back. It's actually a lovely kind of setup they got going on there when you walk in.
Yeah. Very functional. Very functional.
Exactly. And then obviously they got the L-shaped bar with the ever-changing tap list, and then they have all their to-goes and other things on the other side. So it definitely makes it a staple to go to at the East End of London. And have we been to the East End of London before?
I was going to say, if you're out of the East End. But no, to your point, though, the functioning kind of like space, it works well.
Yes, it does.
As I said, I've been there a couple times before. But yeah, it is nice how they kind of have the to-go stuff kind of separated out. Yep. And then the outdoor area as well.
Yeah, they got a little bit of an outdoor area there as well. Yep.
They do throw some picnic tables outside, so that is kind of nice.
Yes. So obviously, as we mentioned, you've been there. I've been there. Producer Chad has also been there.
Chris has also been there.
And Chris has been there.
I will speak for Chris because
I've
been there with Chris.
Everybody has been there.
Everybody and then some.
Yes. So, so on tap, they have created 127 beers with an average rating of 3.62 out of 5. Myself, I've had 24 of those.
Nice.
So not a bad percentage.
It's good.
The highest rated being a 5, which is one of my high, fives in a while, right? For highest rated beers.
You have slowed down on the 5s, and I'm starting to
My
think
criteria has changed.
Either that or the peer pressure's got you.
No. So the 5 that I had from Fork River was the Four Fork Shake. It was a Strawberry Daiquiri 2020 edition. So it was one of the ones I actually picked up when lockdowns and things were in. So I swung in there and got one of those.
It sounds good.
I think I got a couple of those actually because, highly rated beer.
Good.
Just tell you that. Do you want to take Chris's?
Yeah, I'll do Chris and mine, and then you can do Chad's after. Chris has had 26. He has one. The highest rated was a 4.75, not a 5, but that's typical for most
Some
of
would
us.
say 0.25 off of 5.
Some would. And it was the Forked Monk's Folly, Belgian-style stout aged in wine barrels, which was a collab with Folly Brew Pub in Toronto. All right. For myself, 16 check-ins, the highest rated being the OG.
OG version.
The OG version of the Fred Sauvage back in 2019 with a rating of 4.5, which I think I actually had that one in a taster, if I'm not mistaken.
You, I believe, according to research that we've completed, had that at the London Brewing Co-op Festival in 2019.
What a time.
Yes, it was a great time. I still have reminiscence of that in my garage.
There's some memories there.
Yes, there is, for sure.
We'll put a pin in that.
Yes, I think so.
All right.
Anyway, so producer Chad has an 18 with the highest rated being 4.5, also being the Forked Monk's Folly.
Very good. Now, as we discussed, the space is functional, and that function does lead to lots of events at Forked River. They do a Thirsty Thursday, which includes trivia, vinyl trades, and open mics, which is scary because I don't know if you should ever go there on a Thirsty Thursday, Brett.
But here's the thing, I have an open mic right now.
We could shut it down pretty quick if we got some post-editing.
Guess what? We might bring some vinyl.
Yeah, I got vinyls. Actually, I just packed them.
Yeah, there you go.
Just packed them up. So they do that. They also do Forkin' Fridays, which includes different brands and a burlesque show. You want to do Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday specials, some live comedy. It's more so what I'd be there for, right?
Yeah, basically, I thought that was your open mic.
That's true. Hey, I'm the best stand-up comic sitting down. Anyway, and some live music, and then acoustic afternoon Sundays with usually a food truck pop-up that happens to be there.
I like that vibe, especially where it is, too. If you get some little outdoor space going, a little summer patio. I know we're just beyond that now. It's starting to cool off, but not bad.
It's quite warm today, though.
It is a little warm today, yeah.
So anyway, at the time of this recording, there's 20 different styles of beers available for purchase, including staples like Riptide, Interstellar IPA, the Loco, which is a collab with Logan Couture of the San Jose Sharks, and to one-offs such as a bourbon-aged sour stout and a New Zealand IPA with lactose. So lots of different options that you would have either buying it online or going into the taproom.
True. Chad likes his lactose.
He does.
Fun fact.
He also likes New Zealand, I've heard.
The New Zealand IPA with lactose?
Yes.
Wow, what a combo. This is an episode written for Chad.
I think so.
I must.
It just makes sense.
Speaking about Chad, he owes us $15 because flat rate shipping across Ontario for Forked River.
Yeah. Where's that $15? I'm kidding. I was the one who was able to go and pick them up. Anyway, so the taproom hours, because I went during some of these hours. Okay. Tuesday, Wednesday, 12 to 6. I might have been there on Wednesday at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Thursday to Saturday.
Always working. Always
It was during my vacation week.
Yeah, sure it was.
Thursday to Saturday from 12 to 9 and Sunday from 12 till 5.
Very good. Now we're going to link to their information on our social media.
And we should probably, have the first beer for Chad.
For Chad?
I think so. A big shout out and thank you to Kelly from Forked River.
Thanks, Kelly.
Yes, she was able to graciously provide us with some beers. And also the hospitality that she showed to everybody who walked in there. She was asking people's first names. She was getting my daughter coloring books. It was
goodness.
Quite the spiel.
Kelly didn't do that when I was there.
She did a great job. So
I wish I had a coloring book.
Well, I can get you a coloring book if you want me to.
Nah.
No?
You don't want to hook up with Kelly now?
I don't know. I guess next time you go in, we'll get you a coloring book and some crayons.
Anyway,
there you go. So the first beer we're having is Riptide, which is listed as an American Pale Ale. Now, here's the thing.
What's the thing?
On Untapped, a little different than what's on the can.
Okay.
So on Untapped, it is listed at 5.7 ABV and 40 IBUs.
Okay.
But on the can, 5.7 ABV and 38 IBUs. Oh no.
Don't worry,
Things have
Peter.
changed since the first brew.
Yeah, so I guess just
It shouldn't be a terribly amount of difference, obviously. but
information's just not updated there
Yeah, exactly.
on tap then. So
I'm thinking so, yeah.
we got to get that done. So,
we should.
somebody get on that. All right, so this beer is a pale ale with a twist of rye. Riptide is made of, really for the beer drinker that likes big flavor. So not maybe like a traditional pale ale that we see, and that's why the rye aspect's going to come in. The bold hop flavors blends well with the addition of the rye, which leads to a creamy mouthful or mouthfeel and slightly spicy finish, which is going to be kind of interesting.
Yes.
Hop forward, yet well-balanced beer. Guess we'll
Again, as
find
kind
out
of
about
mentioned
that.
last episode, another one of those hybrid beers, if you will, right?
Very hybrid.
Yes, anyway. So you can follow us on Instagram at Craft Beer Cons and on Untapped Craft Beer Connoisseurs. Go ahead, do it right now, please. Thank you. The rating for Riptide is 3.49 out of 5 and over 4,900 check-ins. We have had 48 of our friends on Untapped check it in with an average rating of 3.58, so a little bit higher than the average overall rating. And there's been 66 5 out of 5s.
This might be, so far, I think since we've been doing this, the most amount of friends that have had a beer.
That would be correct, yes, because we've had a lot of breweries that have kind of just came to the scene, right? So
Came to the same, just with some of the beers that they've had. 48 friends.
that's a lot of friends.
Man, if I had that many friends in my personal life, I'd be a happy guy.
Hey, your wedding would have cost more.
We would have done a lottery system.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So let's grab our can. We got to oil up that chair.
Yes.
Grab our can and grab our glass and let's open her up. Oh, very nice, very nice. Do you want to say what kind of glass we're drinking out of, or do you want me to?
You go ahead. I got to pour.
Okay. Yeah, we're just drinking out of a normal pint glass today, so just nothing special with this one here. Looking good, Brett. Looking good. Watching the pour. Excellent job. Excellent job. All right, what do you see on the eyes, my dude?
Well, I see kind of a brownish color. That's definitely from the rye malt.
Do we want to use different terms like copper, maybe?
That would be a good term to use, yes. A little more
Brownish?
talking about the Crayola versions, right?
Yeah.
A copper Crayola.
Yeah, I don't think they've got the brownish Crayola.
Honestly, don't know.
Yeah, it's got a little copper hue to it, but light, like a lighter kind of copper.
Yes, I agree with that.
Instead of like a deep kind of look to it. So I can see
Almost
where
kind of
you're
might
coming.
look like a mixture between like an amber and a lager. in terms of
Okay.
color,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I could see that.
A little bit lighter than an amber, but a little darker than a lager.
Yeah, I'd go like a deep honey ale as well, kind of on the look. There's a little bit of that amber hue to it.
Amber hue.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you
yes,
picking up on the nose there?
I
Now,
should probably put it against my nose, shouldn't I?
one thing I will say is that our noses might be a little off today because the ragweed season is still full in effect here until we get that first frost. But
You can definitely get the rye malt base out of the top glass there.
very malty.
But even maybe some like, let me get another swig here. Or I shouldn't say swig, sniff.
Yeah, I was gonna say you swig with your nose now. Yeah, there's some like deep caramel kind of notes
Caramel,
to it.
almost like a,
But that could be the
even
rye
like a pepper.
barrel. Pepper?
like a black pepper.
Okay, sure.
Gotta go with that.
I mean, I got a big nose and it's still trying to fight the ragweed, but I think I'm getting through it.
See, I got a small nose and no ragweed hurting me, so
Well, then
I don't know what that means, but
that means if you smell pepper, then there must be pepper.
maybe.
God, I hope so. All right, why don't we try it?
Let's test the theory and try it.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
Okay, go ahead and you drink first, and I'll hold back a little bit here and wait to see what you got going on. Not bad. Okay.
Not bad at all.
Okay, I'll drink.
I'll let you get into this one. Oh, look at that. On the swallow, boom, goes the dynamite.
Do you want to talk about the can?
Yes, I will talk about the can. So again, this is, I would say, probably their staple that they've had for many years. So on the side, you have to tilt it a little bit, but it almost looks like the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation vehicle.
Otherwise known as a station wagon.
Yeah, otherwise known as a station wagon, yes. I believe that is a boat on top. Or some sort of
Not a
kayak
boat.
or
There you go.
some sort of adventurous thing that you put in the water.
Yeah, it'd be a surfboard maybe.
Surfboard would also work. That's an adventurous thing that you would put in the water.
Because you see the name of the beer?
Riptide, yes.
Yeah.
I feel as though like you'd be kind of wanting
It's
to.
like they try to make it together, like an old-fashioned woody station wagon with a surfboard on top to make the theme of the Riptide come together.
Yeah. See, I just think
How do you do this? How?
it's a really difficult challenge for me.
I just don't understand how you can't look at this and put the connection
I'm
together.
not really good at puzzles.
This is an image, and it's not even one of those Rorschachs. It's straight up.
Yeah. So that's the can.
Oh, sweet Lord.
And that's like, oh yeah, oil this damn chair up, man.
Yeah, I don't know if it's coming through or not, but there's a little bit of we got to grease the wheels of not only the station wagon, but the chair that
My
Brett's
mind,
on.
apparently.
Whew. Yeah, a good maltiness coming forward on it. I'm getting some of those deeper kind of like notes, flavors to it, which is good. There's nothing kind of like bright and opening it up. It is more of a rich flavor profile. So, yeah, it's all right.
And it does say on the can, it didn't have this on the website, but on the can, spicy fish tacos or whatever is on the barbecue or some s'mores
Okay.
would go well with this.
Yeah, I could see that. But again, those are like the deep, rich flavor. If you do a
Yeah.
s'more with like a caramel in it,
There is some mild citrus flavor kind of coming through it on the back end, I could say, though. It might be from the hops that are used within here.
sure.
That would be
Yeah.
what I'm thinking.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Thank you.
top 5 flavor profiles. Let me go through them.
Yes,
Number 1, malty.
That would definitely be number one.
Yeah. Again, I think that there's some of that richness coming through. It's that maltiness, which is nice. 2, smooth.
Goes down smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. No complaints about the smoothness on this one.
Yeah, it's smooth, especially for the rye aspect, right? Like it is pretty smooth, which is nice. 3, hoppy.
Yes, maybe not as much. They do have a hop level on their can. And it says
Yeah.
3 out of 7, I believe. So kind of again not mild hoppiness, but you can definitely get it from there. And I
Yeah.
think that's where that citrus is coming. A little bit of citrus coming
Throw
back
it
on.
back in, just okay, kind of the pale ale aspect of it,
Yes,
if you will.
correct.
Okay, cool. 4, sweet.
A little bit, but not as much as what you think it would be.
Okay, and then 5, light. I'm not really getting light. I think
I don't think
it's
it drinks light.
It's not a heavy beer, but again, because it's so rich in flavor, I wouldn't even classify it as light because that mouthfeel that was described earlier, you do get that here. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I describe it.
Is that how you describe it?
Yeah, it's just that's how it feels. There's some stickiness to it again,
Okay.
right? Like it doesn't, which is good because I keep going back and I'll keep drinking it and keep drinking it, and then I'll clean my palate out with maybe a nice light lager or something after.
Fair enough.
I mean, I could go with a water, but why would I do that?
I mean, you had a Coors Light. It's water anyway. Anyway, I'm kidding.
Okay, you're starting to sound like Chris.
Maybe. Speaking of Chris,
Yeah,
he does have our first review. It's not Chris that's on the podcast, so it's another Chris. So Tyler,
it
take
is.
it away.
Yeah, so through on Untapped, Chris, the handle is Canuck Hophead, stated the following: toasted malt, grainy, some honey, dry, light sweetness, light alcohol aftertaste with some black pepper. Someone's like, you read this, Brett. Subtle juniper, hint of butter and biscuit, and a nice mouth feel.
Definitely not getting that butter and biscuit.
No, but I could try to see where they're trying to come from on that one. 4.25 out of 5. I guess there's maybe like some biscuit breadiness to it. Maybe come through the malts, but I'm getting very more of a caramel kind of aspect, and that's tied to the rye, I think, too.
Yes,
and
I
that's
think so.
where you're going to get some of that breadiness feeling is based on the addition of that rye.
Agreed.
Right.
So my review comes from Tim Jane. His handle is Tim_Jansen. This is different, but we'll see. Getting a hint of peanut butter for some reason, but it has a good mix of malt and hops and a 4.25 out of 5. I am not getting peanut butter to this one.
Nor am I.
I don't know where that's coming from, but I mean, all on you. We all are entitled to our own opinions, so there it is.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right, enough of them and back to us. My favorite part. Let's start our ratings off. And to do that, I will go first. I'm going to go with a 3. Yeah, I don't think I need to explain it.
Okay, good.
And with Chris, a 3.5. So thanks, Chris.
Would you like to explain, Chris?
Yeah, Chris thinks that it's got some good depth to it. I'll speak for Chris any day of the week.
I figured you would. So I've had this only once, and it was on a taster, and I gave it a 3.75. Going through the full actual can of it, my rating is going to go a little lower. It's going to go to a 3.5.
Okay.
Producer Chad over there giving it a 2.75. So Mathematique, Tyler.
Yeah, so that is going to give us an overall score for Untapped of 3.1875. We can go up with her.
I would choose to go up with that, yes. Math would check out to go up to a 3.5.
It's Chad's over here doing the math. This might be a Chad moment here. Come on, Chad. Oh, we got a little slow head nod.
So
he didn't trust you. He didn't trust you, which is totally fair.
But I trusted myself with that, and that's what matters.
I love that. All right. That's enough of beer number 1. Let's move on to beer number 2. All right, we're back with beer number 2.
That we are.
And this one, again, is a episode for Chad.
Yes.
I think we have to keep saying that, at least during every segment.
Oh, yeah. So this is an episode for Chad.
As such, you mentioned that Chad's the first repeat producer.
Correct, yes.
Would you almost call it a flashback?
I would.
Well, that's why we are on to the second beer called Flashback. This is an American wheat style beer. 4.5% ABV and 23 IBUs. Is there any discrepancy with this one, Chad?
Yes, I will tell you right now.
Oh.
The ABV is the same. However, the IBUs is 15.
On the can.
On the can, yes.
True that. All right, Brett, tell us what we may be in store for.
So this beer is a light, refreshing, different take on your prototypical wheat beer. Tropical fruit in the nose and flavor pair perfectly with a slight tartness from the rhubarb, which is locally sourced from Watford. This is a smooth, and one of my most favorite words, quaffable beer.
That doesn't surprise me that would be one of your favorite words.
I mean, there's not many words that start with a Q and are long, but quaffable.
It's true. I mean, if we're playing Scrabble, if you had the letters for quaffable,
yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Able might be on there, and if you got quaff,
yeah. Imagine that with a triple word score. Boom, done.
I think game over. I'd throw the board across the room.
Yeah, I would be upset too.
No, if I got it.
Oh, yeah.
If I threw down quaffable,
mic drop.
I'm chucking that board.
Yeah. As you should.
Nobody can win for that. All right. Untapped Flashback has a rating of 3.5 out of 5 with over 3,800 check-ins. We now actually beat our last one in terms of our friends having this beer.
Correct. So people must like their wheats.
It's true. 50 of our friends have had this with an average rating of 3.65 out of 5, which is actually the 0.15 higher than the 3 to 5 on the average. 59 5 out of 5s. Not
Bingo,
bad.
bango, bongo.
Not bad. All right. Let's grab our cans and a rather large glass. And let's open her up. Very good, very good. As we pour this beer, we will be drinking this out of a large Hefeweizen glass. Traditional 4-wheat beers. And we've seen this on, actually, I believe it was our last episode there.
That is correct. We did have a wheat beer last
Very good. Very good head retention on this one here. Not too shabby at all. I got a little bit here. I think this will see a little bit of lacing on it, especially with the Hefeweizen glass, just based off the general body of the glass. I think as we drink through it, there'll be more of a lacing, which is kind of nice. A big fluffy head.
Absolutely,
with
yes.
a little bit of a vigor pour.
Yeah, you like to see that, obviously, off your wheat beers. Almost looks like a Belgian, or I should say a blue moon now. It's not a Belgian moon anymore. Looks like a blue moon to me in terms of the glass.
It's not Belgian.
No.
It's blue.
It's blue moon, yeah.
So they're allowed to go back to the naming rights of blue?
Yeah, that happened like last year.
Oh, well, there you go. I knew.
You've been to a restaurant and you say, "Hey, I guess you don't order a Belgian moon at a restaurant," but
no, I would.
But well, they'd be like, ha, "What's that?"
Because there's some naming rights issues with the word blue.
Yes, no, it is blue moon now.
In terms of beer, so a little bit of history on that, I guess, is that La Black Blue was not allowing anybody to use the word blue for beer,
and now they do.
There we go. So. Something must have expired. All right, what are you getting on the color here? Traditional kind of wheat beer coloring.
I already went through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I know. You want to say if you want to go through
I haven't. See, the thing is I'm holding mine to the light where your big body's blocking your color.
That is correct.
You got no light coming through.
That is what it is. I use my own light.
That's good. It's got very Five Alive-esque in the
good call on the Five
wise
Alive.
glass, which is nice. But yeah, good.
Oh, look at producer Chad's head retention over there.
Good
Look at
fluffy
that.
head on his. Not
Almost
bad.
looks like he's out of Das Boot.
It does.
It's not.
No, it's a Hefeweizen glass as well.
exactly.
Which is nice. All right. Why don't we drink it?
I think we should get into her.
Absolutely.
do
Please
that. I
be
will.
my guest. So this is a rhubarb wheat ale. So we're looking for some of that rhubarb to come through. I'm not a huge fan of rhubarb myself.
Me neither, but you can definitely tell the rhubarb's coming through there.
Okay.
The one thing that you normally get in wheat beers is that like kind of clove or banana-esque. You're not getting that through here. The rhubarb's kind of a little bit taking over. You got something in your mouth there? Yeah. Besides the beer, obviously.
Yeah.
Interesting. What do you think?
Wheat beer for sure. Rhubarb for sure.
Anything else?
It's refreshing.
That's good.
Yeah. A little cool. Good carbonation on it, which is nice to see. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you
not
like to
really
have that in
getting,
your beers, yeah.
not really getting any of the cloviness as you described. On the nose, I was getting the very wheat ale kind of aspect of it, which is good. The hop level of this one and is 1 out of 7?
1 out of 7, yes. Citra hops are used in this one.
Yeah, you could taste that.
And cold pressed rhubarb juice.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the Citra hops is coming through. Like I can definitely taste
And
that.
they say that you should have this with grilled shrimp,
Again,
smoked chicken,
or anything on the barbecue.
yes, nachos, or some sharp cheeses.
Okay.
Maybe like a nice charcuterie board would be lovely, perhaps, with this one.
Sure. Now, Brett, as you're going through some of the stuff on the can, what do you see here?
I believe I see like an hourglass.
Very good.
With, time kind of being symmetrical because you're trying to, equal it out, perhaps.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll go that way.
We'll let you. I was waiting for you to say lava lamp for some reason. I figured,
I mean, technically it does look like a good lava lamp. Yeah, you're right.
there we go. All right. Yeah. Kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do the 5 flavor profiles. Brett, why don't you do these ones?
Number 1 is light. You think this one drinks light?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, subtle.
I don't know if it's necessarily subtle because the rhubarb comes through really up front. So I don't really think it'd be too subtle. I think it's there and it's throughout.
I think it's one of those things where there's subtle rhubarb, subtle citra hop. It's just kind of everything's subtle. There's nothing overpowering about anything, right?
Okay.
Number 3, tart.
Not really, and I think maybe because the rhubarb's used, you usually see like a rhubarb also used in like a sour, or like a goza, but in that kind of field. I don't really think this is too tart, and I think that comes down to some of that citrus kind of balancing it out. Is it's not really tart at all. It's mellow, and the base being a wheat beer as well is it's not overpowering.
Okay. Number 4, sweet.
Nah, not overly for me.
Yeah, it doesn't have much sweetness to it. And number 5, sour.
Same comments that I used for number 3 for tart.
Okay. Producer Chad coming in here with rhubarb, refreshing, banana, clove, citrus. Obviously, I'm not getting that banana or the clove. Refreshing, yeah, I could see this being
I would put
this is a
refreshing in there
beer. Yep.
or the rhubarb.
Yep,
Like
absolutely.
call the fruit what it is. Or
It's kind of funny that when you have a
rhubarb.
rhubarb wheat ale and you don't have the fruit that it's based off of in your top 5 flavor profiles. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Is
it
rhubarb even a fruit?
I don't know.
I don't even know where it would fall under.
A vegetable?
Chad, look that up, would
Yeah,
you? Well, because it's a plant, right? It's a root of a plant. Pretty well. Like it's-
Yeah, I mean, all I know is about rhubarb is, I'm sure somebody named Barb makes it. That's about all I got. I really don't
Is
know.
that it?
Yeah, I think so. It has to be somebody named Barb that has to make the rhubarb. It's like a collab between RuPaul and and a girl named Barb.
and a barb.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
Anyway,
Barbie. Rhubarby.
rhubarby.
That. I guarantee there's going to be a beer called Rhubarby.
Yes.
And it's going to be a rhubarb beer.
It just makes sense now. Kind of
I
capitalize
think we've tried to buy enough time
RuPaul's
for
Drag Race and Barbie at the same time. It makes sense.
Yeah, I think we've tried to buy enough time here for producer Chad.
And he is coming in with the belongs to the buckwheat family.
Okay.
So it makes sense. Rhubarb with the wheat. Could have just called it a buckwheat ale.
So it's a herb, herbaceous. Perennial. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Well, there we go.
Now I know more about rhubarb than I needed to. You can stop now. It's
Yeah.
fine. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
Yeah, no, he's still going here.
He does. All right, we're going to go to our thoughts from the Untapped users. What do you got?
So the first one comes from Stacy M, and their handle is Stacy Morrison 6032 with a couple underscores in there. One of the nicest light wheat beers I have ever tried, and she rated it a 3.75 out of 5.
Very good. David M. Bookie on.
Bookie on.
The tartness of the rhubarb is very subtle. A light, refreshing wheat beer, rated a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay. So for this one, I'm going to go where Stacy was and not where David was, and I'm going to give it a 3.75 out of 5. Chris liked the beer so much that he gave it a 4.25 out of 5. I will not speak for Chris in regards to this beer, except for the fact that he gave it a 4.25.
Very good. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a 3.75 as well. Very well done, especially for rhubarb. I'm not a huge fan of rhubarb, but it is quite pleasant.
Yes.
And producer Chad is also going to give it a 3.75. So 3.75s and the 4.25 from Chris. Bro, what's that going to give us?
That gives us 3.875. So do we round up or round down? I'm going to choose up because technically the math does put it a little bit to the point where it goes to a 4 versus a 3.75.
All right, that's fine.
Okay. So that concludes the review of Forked Rivers and the beers provided
Very nice.
for today's episode. Get in there for today's episode.
For today's
Just
episode.
today's.
There you go. Up next, we're going to be discussing our favorite Chad moments.
Good. All right. So,
All right.
producer Chad,
Yep.
taking time out of his busy schedule.
So busy. This guy is pretty busy.
Yeah, we can only really get him between like August and September.
Yeah,
It's
to
true
come
facts.
back.
To come back.
It's the only
so-
time.
He's getting married next weekend on the episode, obviously on the release date of this episode, next weekend. So it's only fitting that we discuss our most favorite personal moments with this producer.
Oof.
Right?
We didn't get Chris's added in here probably for good reason.
Yeah.
Tumultuous relationship.
Yeah, really back and forth, really. Kind of like this chair I'm sitting in currently. Anyway, I guess you want me to start? Or do you want to take this one for start? I introduced the whole thing. Do you want to take the first little bit of it or no?
You did, however.
Yeah, I know.
As introduction, the way that it would normally go would be that you would go first.
I would, yeah. So, I'll go first.
Are we going to ask Chad for his favorite moments of himself?
I don't think so.
I think we should.
Maybe we should, yes. Actually, if you could just type in there, what's your favorite moments of yourself?
Yeah, what do you like
That would
about
be
yourself?
Greatly appreciated.
Yeah, put that in.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to start with two things. I'm just going to say words.
Are you gonna come in hot and heavy, or are you gonna kind of ease into it? Because that's gonna be based on what I do.
I'm going to say 2 words.
Okay.
And then we can kind of figure out moments that were good from that. 1, Canadian, right? Music in the Fields. Back in the day, in 2013.
Yeah, it was,
That was a long time ago. We had a few beers since then.
2012, 2013. Yeah.
And Megabed.
Mega bad.
Because who doesn't like to, let's just say, sleep with the producer?
Sure.
Perhaps.
So you have to describe this because recently after a ball game, some of the guys were like, well, what if you just talk about inside stuff and then all your listeners have no idea? So you now have to describe them.
Yes, you're right. So in terms of a Canadian, Music in the Fields 2013, whatever year it was.
Yeah, there's one.
Us 3, actually, along with 2 other people.
Yeah.
I believe there was a Joey Votto jersey being worn.
Mm-hmm.
And then a big shout out saying, Canadian, because it was from Jay Onright and Dana O'Toole on Sports Center.
Yeah.
So I think I've heard producer Chad say Canadian about 75 times in a 5-minute spiel.
And what about your mega bed?
Megabed. So this actually happened at your old house. That was the origination of it. And I think it was actually the same year as well. We would go down to, a local bar, if you will, in Stratford.
Makes me wonder if he mega bed before us. I feel like we weren't
He
the first
could have
mega bed.
mega bed with somebody else before that. I don't know.
Do you think he mega beds? Hey, Chad, do you still mega bed? No.
It was my first mega bed
megabed
experience. I don't know if it was his first mega bed experience.
I don't know.
We've mega bed since, by all means. But yes, no, it was one of those things where we'd be at your house after visiting a bar, and you did not have the friendly confines of a spare bedroom.
No.
So we had to make our own
We made a
bed
mega bed.
with some couch cushions and other, avenues that we could possibly use. And just see how many people we could fit in there. Normally it was 2. Well, it was just Chad and myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you came in and jumped on us and joined.
It's true.
And then we kicked you off immediately.
So do we mega bed in my new place then?
I think so. I think that's going to be a producer special. We're going to bring Chad back again and just do like a live from the bed.
We should do that live from the bed. Chris may join for that one.
Yes,
maybe
I might get him back for sure.
All right, we'll see if we could do a mega bed with Chris.
Yes,
and producer Chad. Chad will have to wear a mask or something, and we'll do. That's one thing we talked about is doing some video recordings when we get into the new place.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a nice little round table action, and you can just have like a GoPro at every side. It'd be good to go, right? And then just connect it. It'd be great.
Yeah, if you're opening the budget up,
absolutely not. Anyway,
I'll be happy to discuss it. All right. I guess on to me, one of my favorite moments with Chad was Frankenmuth. I mean, we spent a lot of time playing ball together and down in Frankenmuth. And this one, I mean, moral of the story is we ended up with this massive dragon, which became our mascot for our ball team for a bit, unofficially. Puff the Magic Dragon and
over the big blue sea, and that big blue sea being the Blue Water Bridge.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, all the way back. So, it was just a funny kind of bonding moment that I think anybody who is part of that, holds kind of true to their heart.
True. So. Chad, your favorite moments of yourself?
Nothing,
there are none.
So
okay,
nothing so far. Anything else?
No, I think at the end of the day we're.
You have nothing else?
No, I'm just gonna say. Of course, I have a lot of them, but we
got tons of time.
We'd be going to an hour and a half.
Oh, right? I've got more.
Okay. Well, okay.
I was just gonna one and done this thing.
Actually, I should say my most recent favorite Chad moment comes from the date. I believe it would have been your birthday, perhaps last year.
Okay.
It's not your favorite moment by any stretch of the imagination.
You're gonna tell,
but it's one of mine.
A very similar story. That I think I was gonna tell.
So we, the 6 of us, so myself, Tyler, Chad, and our significant others, all went to see Luke Combs and Riley Green and whoever the opener was at Budweiser Gardens. And, I think Chad had a rough day at work. It was nice. I think we hugged it out for an extended period of time.
It was cute.
Just doing like one of those little like sways.
Yeah.
Like, we should have just had our flashlights up and just going. And this is to like, Luke Combs saying when it rains, it pours. Oh, like, it's not like it's, like
beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great song that I don't think you are like standing like.
We were.
But we were.
Yeah.
And then we'll just say it this way, is that we've had a lot of good memories and good times. And
some we remember and some we don't.
Yes. And obviously we're going to keep rolling on with that. And we are happy for you that you are, you finally popped the question. It was like a long damn time. But we can't wait for it. It's going to be a lovely day. And,
we're gonna have him. We're gonna have him back, though, right?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have him back.
So next week we're still having Chad.
No, but I'm just I'm trying to sell it up. Let's to get there. But
true.
Yes, no, we appreciate everything you've done for us, and I assume it's that feeling is reciprocated as well. And best of luck in the married life.
Go get married, kid.
Yes, you go get him, pal.
All right, we'll be right back with our farewell. All right, that's all for today's episode. Thanks again for listening. Keep on listening every other Thursday as Craft Beer Connoisseurs releases a new episode. And on our Thursdays for a producer special.
And make sure to tell your friends, family, and your favorite Canadian.
So from all of us, and producer Chad and Chris, I'm Tyler.
I'm Brett, and together we are the Craft Beer Connoisseurs.